Hello everybody, welcome to a new game called Automation. It's a pre-alpha, just come out, about cars, engines and building. See, I built it, oh, it hasn't saved. I had built a car, to show you, it looks like that. But what I'm going to do, is do one of the tutorials I think today. Just show you a bit about the game. So let's just do, because I know how to play, do general. Let's just do the easy, lovely and easy one. So the year 2 tape bud has erased a lot of your research files. And while you're euphoric about newfound hard drive space, some actually important data has been lost. Your company is in dire need of a cheap, light and powerful engine for a new sporty hatchback. Too bad yesterday's party seems to have reset your biological hard drive too, as you cannot seem to remember anything of what you had designed. Solutions must come quickly, else you might find the company is spending a lot to do so, dear. So you get 1000 for bronze, 1384 for silver, 1672 for gold. Like to say this is a pre-alpha. So the power's got to be more than 174 horsepower. I don't know what that is. Economy is less than that. It's got to be less. Let's just go straight for 94. Made out of aluminium. What am I looking at?
Boring.
You've got it. I'm not even gonna bother watching them. Let's have a look. Should have made a 3 litre engine. Let's make a 2.1 litre engine, should we say. Up that a bit. Bam. 92, 95, 97, 99. That's close to doing it. 2.1 litre engine. Let's talk. Let's see how much this is going to cost. You want that. Top end. Let's have direct ducting, which means the camshaft's near enough pushing straight down onto the piston. Aluminium. Up the compression a bit. Shut up. Up the compression a bit. Shut up. Up the cam profile. Variable time, leave that all the same. Now we get to choose what kind of cylinder head we want on the top. So let's have a look. What is the? We've got them two options in an array of colours. I'm gonna have white just for the sake of having white. It's gonna be turbocharged. Brown will have just an air cooler. Let's have performance tuned turbo. Injection, direct injection, throttle per cylinder. We'll have that as performance, and we'll use just premium unleaded. Run it. Shut up.
Fuel mixture adjust.
The tutorials are really good. I just can't bother to sit and watch them. I really suggest you buy the game. Advance the ignition time.
Ignition timing.
Shush. So it's the first time I've played this game on this computer, so it's up the red line to about, obviously you'll lower this in testing, 9.1. Exhaust one, short-cast exhaust header, with single, bypass valves, let's have a nice big exhaust, 3.25 inch exhaust, and this just goes straight through. Come on, click, thank you, straight through exhaust. So in testing we've got the two options. You can test it like this, which will run the engine up to the RPM range, and if it breaks it tells you. You've got all your graphs. I'm pointing at the screen, you can't even see, but all your graphs, so one goes up as the other and it's failed. And then you can go into this test mode where you can start the engine and you can manually run the throttle. And it's failing, the turbo's failing. So what I can do is do aspiration. Let's put race turbo on. Did that do it? Nope, it didn't. My mouse is a bit broken. Let's start the engine. Go on, drill. So I'll try and do it again. Put a air large on. crazy. Yeah, I should really fix the knot. If it fits the knot, you just lower the compression a bit. 11.5. And eventually you will get to a sweet point in the engine. Still too much knot. Am I trying to get too much power out of this engine? Lowering the compression. Put dual overheads on. 4 bars. Let's try testing this now. Start it up. If I get it into a position where it'll run at least. That on. 5 valves. Take very high RPM. We'll lower the compression a bit. Up the cam profile. VVT on all cams, which is variable valve timing for those who don't know. Change the style of the exhaust header. Love that. Man, I was cost too much. Not bid on size. Not getting a lot of power out of it. You can just skip that. We're getting a 23. We've got a 23 horsepower engine, people. It's not got that. 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 Alright. So back to this. We want a good catalytic converter. Let's baffle both of these. Average noise reduction. Reverse flow, then baffle. Test that. Click good enough. Still not emissions worthy. So what I want to do is go bam, bar stroke. Leave that the same. Lower the compression, lower the valve profile. High down. Do that. What I'm actually going to do is go into aspiration. I'm going to play around with the turbo myself. So what it's actually doing is coming up, and then when you hit 3,000 revs, it's shooting up. So what we actually want is a bit of
A turbine has 2
bit of compressor on it. So I've not played with these, so I might as well get the tutorials out the way. We want a more curvature. Try that. And want the fuel system. What I want to do is run a slightly higher fuel, a bit better intake on it, a little less rich. Let's try that. It's the right size, but it's green sizes. Hear the turbo kicking in. Engine failed due to knock, but we're getting more power out of it now. So back into here and knock, lower the compression again. So what, the question is now, what is causing the engine to fail? Where's that bit? So what I'm going to do is go into testing and into this test mode, not this one. We're getting 50 horsepower out of the engine. This one, till that. Start up the engine. Now as I slowly raise this, I want to see in the green what's braking. What happened there? Doesn't seem like anything's going wrong. I'm getting confused now. Might just be the engine type. We're running too much power. What I'm going to do is upsize the engine to, let's say, 3 litre. Let's go 4 litre. I know I'm being a bit crazy here, but yeah, it didn't last anything. Intake's off. That's what our engine looks like. Oh, the wastate's done. So look, aspiration. Let's have a water cooling system. Test that. Testing. Not up here, whatever this is. So let's work it out. So you've got your engine here, your intake, your air intake through the turbo, through the coolant, into your wastegate, which is this. I have done mechanics, so I do know a bit. Your cylinder head, which this is your exhaust, into the turbo and out the exhaust. So it's the exhaust. So easy way to fix this, just up the diameter. Yeah, obviously you play around with it. You've got to have a working engine to work the rest of it, so. Knock about there. Not much higher. Is it something to do with the bottom end? That should be like very high torque, very high RPM. There's a bit of block on it. Better block. Actually no, we're trying to save money. What I may be doing is this completely wrong, which sounds quite likely. Ignition terminals are too far advanced. If I lower that down to about 7,000 RPM, testing. So 4,000 starting. When the turbo's kicking in. So yeah, about 4,500 revs when the turbo's kicking in. So the turbo kicks in there. What I'll do is I'll up the drum pressure a bit. Turbine. Boost. I'd like to smooth the curve out of this. Up this a bit, so that's nice. Something like that, let's test that. Start up. It's working at 5,000. Try and push it up to 6. Getting knocked at 6. I'm doing, as you can see, 6.5 and the pistons are failing. As you can see, 6,500 revs. So the best way to fix this is just lower the rev range to about that. So let's do 6.4 since I know that's safe. Go on to the other test mode and test. Should red light green. 6.4 is not good. Let's try 6.3. What I'm going to do is test. Test. Yes, the game is a pre-alpha, so there are bugs and stuff. Slightly overpowered. When you look at this, 743 horsepower out of an engine this small. I'll admit it is a 4 litre engine, but what I know I can do now is, because I'm producing so much horsepower, I can drop that down to a, let's try a 2.5. 2 point that. Start it up. Start it up, please. Skip. So I'm still producing 500 horsepower. It's a lot cheaper than what it was. I don't know what the MTBF is. Anyone in the comments can enlighten us. But I know fine well the engine can go smaller. Let's try a 1.7. It does 173, so it's too small. So now I'd put the bottom end it in. And I know I've got to make the engine. So I think the 1.8 is going to be the limit. But what I'm going to do is make it to 2. So I know if I do need take parts off, it's 2517, it's got to be under that. It's got to be economic as well. Which is going to be emissions 22, economy 1.19%. Or £10, oh god. So that is causing a lot of economy issues. What can I do for the economy? Lower the compression, does that much lower on? No. As it is, variable valve time on the intake. Slightly cheaper. Drop that. So I want to try and still get the power out of the engine, but be cheap. So say I'm only getting 34 now, so I need a bigger engine. Let's boost this back up to a 2.1. Let's make it a 2.5 litre engine. Start. For me, this game is just trial and error, like. So it's not working out the way I wanted it to, because it's a smaller engine. Turbo's all messed up. Try that now. .223 horsepower engine. Right. We're getting somewhere. So MTBF, whatever that is, that should help. Oh, you didn't tell us what the MTBF is. You're not, are you? No. That's just shows a picture, isn't it? Bottom end part is reducing as it is starting to reach engine is not never. Try lowering the compression. Cool, we'll do that. But the thing is, you've got to do this, but keep the power. 402 horsepower. TBF is going up, so what I'm going to do is drop compression a bit more. Not fits the economy yet. Let's just do that. 393 horsepower engine. Costs far too much at the minute. I'll have to whittle the costs down. I'll have to whittle the economy down. This is going to be fun. The power's fine. Don't know what empty that is, to be honest. So how do I fit this? Aspiration. Bit of turbo booster on. Just means I've got to adjust the turbos again. I wonder if I make this naturally aspirated, can I still get the same amount of power out of it? I don't know what power I'm going to get out of this, but it saves us the money for the... Doesn't sound like much. Well, I'm getting 140 horsepower out of it. MTBF has to be higher than... So now I know I can do it without a turbo, it's a lot cheaper to run. What I can do is, if I up the compression, up the cam profile a bit, and I squeeze a few extra horsepower out of it. Let's see. 150 horsepower. But the economy is huge. So the economy is mainly done in the exhaust. I've got good... baffled. Airflow low, airflow low, airflow high. Do both reverse flow. No bypass valves. Test that for economy. Economy's... do we just make... Should I just try this and make a huge engine and see what happens? It's a 5.4 litre engine. What would what would you recommend? Do I do this, or do I put it into bottom end, make it the smallest engine possible, and add a huge turbo? That's a 300cc engine. Turbocharger. So add a single turbo. Test that and see what we can get out of it. I'm not expecting much actually. 37 horsepower, yeah. It's about right, it's a scooter engine. If I go bottom end now, what I'll do is let's make a... Obviously the smaller the engine, the cheaper I can make it. Small stroke. Top end. Exhaust, leave all at the same test mode. 74 horsepower, so aspiration. So if I can tune this turbo for it to do what I want it to do, up the boost on it, lower the boost on it. Try that. 172 horsepower out of that engine. I don't remember how big the engine is. It's quite high. I don't know how far up the red line I can go. Issues, but I think I can actually up the red line. What I'm going to do is go here, testing. Actually turn that right down. Push it past 7. 8. I'm looking about... Just to push it, see what I can actually get out of it. This engine will redline at 12, but I'm only getting 40 horsepower. I'm looking at about 7,500 redline. But if I put a bit of coolant on, put a bit of compressor, which means a bit of turbo, which means more power. This is going to be crazy. Pull it down. About exactly 170 horsepower I'm getting out of it at 8,000 rev limit. So what I'll do is I'll put the rev limit at 8,000 and just go test on the other test mode. Start. Step. So it'll rev out 170 horsepower, so I need to squeeze a couple more horses out of it. So I can do by smaller turbine, higher AR ratio, upping the... If I leave that at that, the cost's right, and I'm only getting 26 horsepower out of that, so what have I done wrong? Engine failed due to knock. Let's just custom tune that to race mode. test. So I'm getting 208 horsepower out of it. It's cheaper. I need to get the that up and the autonomy down. Bottom end reduces. Trying to put the quality up. Costs a bit of money. Adds a bit of weight, but costs too much money. But it does raise the MTB that. So if I put the quality up to about 5, test that. Still cheap enough. MT. I need to make a detonometer though, that's the problem. The emissions are 13%. No. Economy. They have to do that. Put an aluminium head on. What does this do? Is low time profile, better autonomy. Put that down then. It's now too expensive. I'm not producing enough power, but my autonomy is up. Oh, good. Less than 0.6. That's 0.8. And 0.96. My autonomy need to go up. Produce some more power and fix later. So the autonomy. Drop that. Raise that test. The autonomy's only 9 now. Yeah, don't know whether I'm gonna actually even do this scenario right now. Test that. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't do this in. And it's not looking good for me. No, I'm just gonna. I think I'm gonna call the video there. I've failed at the easiest one. Yeah. I'll be back one more later on live. And let's just say I have tried that one and nearly managed to do it. So tells you something. Yeah. Might do some research into what MTBF is. But yeah. I'll just show you before you go. The sandbox mode. Which is a sandbox mode. I have made a new car. But what I'll do is I'll make a new car just to show you it. So it's the only options available at the minute. We'll have transverse, revert and stroke down, bam. And let's make, should we make like the golf sign design? Yes. So what I can now do is go on fixtures. What you can do is add maybe some lights here, make them bigger. I click and drag it around so you can see what it looks like. This is going to look really stupid this car. I'm going to have some huge headlights on the front. Maybe it's a bit bigger, about that sort of size headlight. Looks completely funny, but I'm going to make this car look as funny as possible. Go to the back and press on tail lights. What I'll do here is add some huge tail lights. I like them ones. About there, and make them huge. A bit bigger, I think. Maybe it's a bit bigger. And that's as high as I can go with them. Yeah, that's as high as I can go. Unless can I move them down a bit? No. See, yeah, some huge tail lights on the back of there. Yes, that's okay. So now, pressing the wrong buttons here. Huge headlights on the front, huge tail lights on the back. That just looks really funny. Grills. Let's have something like that. There. And you all know what I'm doing with this. Huge grill. Doesn't fit. I'll Go back and let's add one at the base, about here. And hugify this one. I'm trying to make the worst, most ugliest looking car right now. All sorts of stuff. That won't do any better. I'm going to have to lower it. And then add more size. And more size. Oh, lower it a bit more. And more size. That looks good to me. The grill and the bonnet. Now, what does a bonnet need? A hood stoop. Click on bonnet. We've got our stoops. Sorry, automation, for making your cars look terrible. Let's add the biggest hood stoop ever to the front of this thing. Don't actually know whether that's big enough. Let's just zoom in on this and I'll show you it. Stoop. Right. I apologise to all my viewers. Let's have a nice high-rise spoiler on the roof here. Bigger. Small. What am I doing? Bigger. There we are. Huge spoiler. Winds. Oh, I've been on that. Vents. Let's have a nice vent in the roof, let's say. Will a vent look good in the roof? Plant them there. Make them larger. But like that. So yeah, you could say this is a convertible. It's got a hole in the roof. Exhausts. Now we need chav exhaust, so we're looking at... Let's see if it'll load up. Huge doubles. Right in the rear bumper here. And hugeness. And hugify. Can't at the minute. Make them bigger and hugify. I think that's the biggest we can go. Let's add some lips. Actually, no, what I'm going to do now is I've got the base part. I'm going to click on... What I can do is press OK, yes. You can actually click on parts of the body. You should be able to anyway. Such as I'm not in chassis. I should be in body shell, that's it. What you can actually generally do is you can generally resize the body. Fixtures. Body shell. Don't know why it's not letting us, to be honest. But you can generally resize the body and make them look funny. Don't know why it's not letting us. Surely want to use and tell us. Let's add some badges to the front, make our car look good. Add a badge there. Obviously. Huge. Yep. And let's have a badge on the back. Obviously different, just to make it to the sake of it. Bam. Huge. If I move it down, will it go bigger? Yes, it will. There's our badge on the back of our car. Lovely. And yeah, there's our new car. Now if I test it, good cooling. Let's save it as huge. E. It's the first revision of it. Save that. Now what I can do, come out of this, click on huge. Click on new model. Bam. So I'll have 4-wheel drive. Yeah, 4-wheel drive. With a V8, which I don't think it'll fit. Oh no, it will fit. 396 horsepower V8 engine. It's not the fastest I've made. I do on my laptop have a 1000 horsepower engine. Let's have an 8-speed. Up the spacing quite a lot. But there. Up the speed to the 200 it'll do. Yes, this car will do 202 mile an hour. I think there is plans to add a testing ground, so you can test your car designs. 205 perfect with this open diff. So you know what, I need the best one. Yep. Testing does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Let's save it as Hugie Revision 1 save. Bam. And that's the game at the minute. You've got your scenarios which I've shown you. There's a multiplayer option which I've never looked into. Internet is not really up and running. There will be a campaign. It is a tycoon game, so you don't have factories, you don't be able to sell your cars, build your cars, so on and so forth. Yeah, and I look forward to another video where we're going to make some stupid engines and stupid fun. Right, so I'll speak to you all soon. Like, comment, subscribe. I know it's the first video in a while, but expect more coming. Yeah, and I'll see you soon.